Alright, hello and welcome to another Why Would You Use. I know it's been a while since we've done one, but I'm going to try and catch up on kind of the backlog of Why Would You Uses that need to happen. Starting with the Mara Detron. So the Mara Detron, obviously, this made my top 10 secondaries. It's an incredible weapon that has so many upsides, including being the preferred tool of a number of Warframes. So, let's just get into this. First of all, the two main advantages the Mara Detron has over the regular Detron is that this weapon doesn't have the absolutely abysmal spread of the regular Detron, making that weapon nearly fucking unusable. But it also is actually a weapon you can reasonably acquire, because the Zanuka Hunter maybe never shows up, basically, for most people. So this weapon being able to just be bought from Borrow straight up, very easy to acquire if you're willing to wait any amount of time. And then, of course, you can also just buy it from another player if you are really in need of it. Anyway, advantages to this weapon. It is pure elemental, corrosive, radiation blast because it is radiation inherently, and it gets to 100% status with the 4 dual stat mods on before multi-shot. That means every single pellet you fire out of this weapon is going to proc one of these 3 statuses, and all 3 of these statuses have definite merits. In addition to that, we've got Seeker, so you're going to be able to shoot this down hallways and hit everybody inside of it, and that's just super useful. Armor stripping, turning off any aura an enemy's going to have, and then Blast, knocking everyone down for some crowd control. So Warframes that respond very well to this, obviously Nidus, we recently did a video on that, and then Mag very much loves this weapon as long as you do put the punch through on it. It is very useful in combination with her too, so if you're a Mag player, please, for the love of God, get yourself a Mara Detron. Anyway, let's jump into the test. It will be very easy for this weapon, and hopefully I can show off the punch-through bit of it, but in this environment, obviously, it's a lot more open, and there's not as many opportunities for punch-through like there are in normal maps. That being said, I don't think there's a way I would remove the punch-through, and you can see it just go through right there. And just kill all those guys as well. And this weapon, actually, one of the nice things about it is it has a tight enough spread that you can just blind fire it and kill enemies. But that is not, like, necessary. Also, you can see it just absolutely annihilate the armor there. It actually managed to rip all the armor off of that level 50 Bombard before it killed him on the next shot. It's an incredible amount of status that gets pumped out here. These enemies at level 50 have no chance. That's part of the reason the punch through is on here, because most enemies you're going to fight in the game are weaker than these enemies are. So the punch through means you just pop 2 shots down a hallway and you get like 50 kills. It's incredibly useful. There are very few downsides to this weapon, and most of the downsides to using this weapon are that you're not getting energy like you would get with a Synoid Gamma Core, and it's not like a pure AoE like you would get with the Atamos, but there's no reason to not have this weapon in your arsenal. It's absolutely fucking incredible. And then just to show off some of its higher level armor stripping capabilities, which is, of course, also very useful, we're going to bump these guys up to 150, and we'll go over here to the heavy gunners. And you can see before my magazine was even out, I stripped the armor off of both of these level 150 heavy gunners, and did a considerable amount of damage to them as well. And obviously this gets better if you aim for the head, because this weapon has a tight enough spread where headshots are not that bad. Also, thing I didn't mention, but is probably very apparent, this weapon reloads super fast, especially for how fast it shoots. Like, you don't have very much downtime with this at all. That's pretty much the end of it. I got, like, no complaints about this thing. It's an incredible tool. A bunch of Warframes love to have it on their belt, and everyone should get one of these at your earliest convenience, because the build is also quite cheap. Anyway, that's going to do it for this Why Would You Use. Again, I am going to try and do a bunch more of these, as I do kind of need to catch up, and I hope to see you in those. Bye, everyone.